Yeah, let me just add a little bit on that. I took a group through the Westmont Theatre, I think it's about a month ago. It's called the Lazgor LLC, Real Estate Design Development Management. And they're very, very interested in the site. They provided us, which I submitted to Commissioner Dockery and Commissioner Coley, and I asked them to go on to put on the agenda tonight, an offer, so to speak, which was a letter and then some of their accomplishments attached. And basically, the company has been around for 20 years. It's staffed with licensed architects, engineers, and real estate professionals. They also provided us with 3 banks to contact for their financial viability, and that has been we've been consistent with that. Anybody who has an interest would have to show us some type of a financial background, so we would know they were capable of accomplishing the rehabilitation of the theater. I did advise them that it was subject to the historical designation by the state, and therefore there were certain limitations that came with that, and they seemed fine with that. In the letter, they state that for the redevelopment of the theater, they intend to design retail scenarios where the historical building features will be preserved and the project will complement the character of the area. They're proposing a 60-day period where the details of the redevelopment agreement concept plan can be established, and then subsequently a 9-month due diligence period that would allow them to present alternative scenarios to national and regional retailers. They claimed to me that they had a national retailer that was interested in the site, that they did have a contact with, and that's what made them so interested in the site. They would give us $50,000, and they would want title to the property at the end of, after they fulfilled their requirements of the redevelopment agreement, if we were to come into an agreement with them. So, and it was signed by the principals, Henry Bornstein and Peter Lazaropoulos. So, Commissioner Foley, Commissioner Doherty, do you have any comments?
That's good. Look forward to it.
I haven't heard from anybody else. I've had contacts with Veronica Goodman from time to time. She's trying to get funding to make it a theater. The last time I met with her, she said that she needed buy-in from the town, and I had said from the very beginning the town did not have any funds to contribute to a theater. The only flexibility we had would be with the acquisition price of the property. They asked for somewhere in the neighborhoods of $1 to $2 million, which I had said that the town just doesn't have that type of money to put into a theater. The other group, I haven't heard much from them other than they were interested, but again, nothing in the way of a plan, anything in writing, or any type of finances that would establish that they could rehabilitate it. So, Commissioner Foley, any thoughts? And it's been on the website that it's available. We had put it out to an RFQ maybe, what was that, 4 years ago. We had some interest in it, but then that's when the market dropped and so forth.
For me, the idea has merit. All of the ideas that have been presented to us, the theater and so on and so forth, have merit, but really, one of those things where you've got somebody with some finances, some backing, who can actually do something with it. As long as it's a viable concept, certainly a retail site for that space, if they can maintain the facade of the theater, if that was available, sure, I think it's a fine idea. But again, it just boils down to who's got the money to do something with the project, I mean, basically.
Well, the one question I had for them is they didn't want to tell me who this retailer was that had an interest, just for confidentiality reasons. And my concern was, we don't want something that maybe isn't a good fit there. So we talked about maybe incorporating some language in the redevelopment agreement that we would agree upon, the retailer that goes in there in some capacity with some language in it. And they were fine with that. So I guess I'll ask Stuart, what would you propose if we are interested? What would you propose as the next step to try and finalize something?
The next step would be to have a resolution authorizing the township to enter into negotiations with and to enter into an agreement for the sale of the Westmont Theatre to this organization, this LLC, with the types of provisions that they've addressed, and obviously provisions that the governing body wants to protect our interests and so forth. And, things with a due diligence period, and of course, we're gonna have to convey title, which, as you know, we had that release of the lease bond from last year, so I know the title is clear at this
Right,
point.
yes.
So, basically, I'd be ready, whether you wanna do it verbally tonight or have a resolution on the agenda for next week, that would be the first step, is to authorizing the agreement to sell that to them with the conditions that we've discussed this evening.
Okay, well, we could do it next week. I mean, if anybody else, any
I
other?
prefer to do it next week,
Yeah.
especially because there's been so much interest over the years.
Anybody else step up?
So I'll prepare a resolution for next week's agenda, and then the final agreement of sale would then come back for you for approval.
Yeah, well, there would be conditions. I mean, they would have to complete, like you said, the due diligence period, and then we would have to come to an agreement with the redevelopment plan, and then at the end of that, the property would transfer over,
Correct.
assuming they met their obligations. Okay.
Lawn maintenance for multiple properties, May 2013. Disabled bed exemption, block 10.04, lot 1.